All right, mathematicians, we're back with section 5 of chapter 2, and we're going to talk today about solving equations involving absolute value. So previously we solved the equations with a variable on each side, and now we're going to talk about how to evaluate absolute value expressions and solve absolute value equations. This stuff's pretty cool, so check it out. So in this first video, we're going to talk about absolute value as well as absolute value expressions. Now, expressions with absolute values define an upper and lower range in which a value must lie. Expressions involving absolute value can be evaluated using the given value for the variable. So here's what we're talking about. Evaluate absolute value of m plus 6 minus 14 if m equals 4. All right, so like we normally do, you substitute 4 in for m and simplify. Now, absolute values are a grouping symbol, so you want to do what's inside the absolute value first. So absolute value 4 plus 6 is 10. And then you take the absolute value of 10. Now, absolute value, technically what it means is it's the distance a number is from 0 on the number line. So just real quick to show you what I'm talking about. Here's 0. If I have 5 and negative 7, the absolute value of 5 is 5 because 5 is 5 steps from 0 on the number line. Absolute value of negative 7 is 7 because negative 7 is 7 steps from 0 on the number line. One of the most common misconceptions that students make or have is that the absolute value, you just change the sign. Not really. If the number is positive and you take the absolute value of a positive number, the number is still positive. If you take the absolute value of a negative, the answer is always a positive number. Okay? So then here we just do 10 minus 14, which is negative 4. And remember, if you're doing 10 minus 14 and you do my keep change trick, you keep the sign on the 10, change it to addition, change the sign on the second number. Now you can see you're adding numbers with opposite signs. You subtract them. 14 minus 10 is 4. Keep the sign of the larger number, which is negative. Okay? All right, here's one for you to try. Go ahead and pause the video and hit play when you're ready. All right, we're back. So evaluate 23 minus absolute value of 3 minus 4x if x equals 2. So first thing you want to do is substitute the 2 in. And remember, you got to supply the parentheses around the 2. If you don't, and you just put the 2 in, it's going to look like 3 minus 42. Okay? Order of operations, go in the grouping symbols first. You have multiplication and subtraction, so you do the multiplication first. 3 minus 8. Remember, keep change, and it's 3 plus negative 8. So subtract the numbers, you get 5. The bigger the sign of the larger is negative, so it's negative 5. Now be careful here. This is not 23 minus negative 5. It's 23 minus the absolute value of 5. Okay? Now, you don't want to change everything to pluses. Here, lots of times what students will do is they'll write the answer as 23 plus 5. But be careful. This is 23 minus the absolute value of negative 5. So the first thing you have to do is still take the absolute value of negative 5, and the absolute value of negative 5 is 5, then the rest of the problem is 23 minus 5. Okay? So it wouldn't end up being 23 plus 5 because you're subtracting the absolute value of negative 5. The absolute value of negative 5 is 5, so you want to subtract that answer. Subtract 5. 23 minus 5 is 18. Pretty cool, huh? All right. Well, that was a short one. So that's it for this video. In the next one, we're going to talk about actually jump into how to solve absolute value equations. So see you in a second.